Hey guys, Clone Guy here, and welcome to a top 7 video. And those of you who aren't used to the top 7 videos or aren't familiar with them, I have two sets of top 10 slash top 7 videos. I have the top 10 and I have the top 7. How the top 7 work is I typically deal with things that are my opinion, and in this case it's the top 7 best buffs in World of Tanks. So the buffs that came out yesterday, some of them are absolutely insane, and so I'm just going to go through the 7 which I believe to be the best. Then my top 10 videos, those ones are based on facts and numbers and stats, like win rates and such. So those are usually based on, things that aren't my opinion. I haven't done one of those in a long time, but maybe we'll have to do one sometime. But today we're counting down the top 7, my top 7 picks for the best buffs in yesterday's update in World of Tanks. And starting at number 7 has to be the T110E4. I didn't know I was going to put this on the list. As I was going through my tanks today and picking out the ones that I really liked, the buffs I really liked, I decided, let me try the E4 again. And oh my gosh, it just blew my mind. The amount of damage you can block in this tank is ridiculous. I don't know exactly what Wargaming was thinking buffing this tank, but I guess it's not been performing well. The armor is absolutely crazy. The upper plate has always been good. They buffed the turret cheeks and the gun melee and the cupola. And as you can see in this game so far, I've blocked 3,300 damage. This tank is a more mobile E3. It's not a fortress like the E3. But you've got a turret. And, I mean, it does work now. It did work before, but now you have the armor to show for it. And a lot of people said the E4 kind of made the E100 irrelevant. Now that's even more so the case. Hopefully the E100 is going to see a nice buff in the future, because why play the E100 when you can play the E4? And even this guy, boom, we're going to get him to bounce off of our side there. He doesn't even hit our hull, but we're up to 3,700, almost 3,800 damage blocked in this game. And this is the T110E3. It's not an armored tank, but now it is. So absolutely insane buffs. And that is why this scores number 7 on my list. Number 6 is another one I did not think I would have on this list. Someone told me to try it, and it blew me away. The FV4005. Watch how quickly this thing gets up and goes. Its engine power went from 650 to 950. 300 extra horsepower. Look at this speed. It just gets up and it goes. I drove straight over this hill because I wanted just to test the engine. Absolutely insane. Crazy mobility buff. Along with that, they buffed the gun handling while turning and aiming and all that stuff. This tank just snaps. It gets up, it goes, it gets where it needs to be, and it snaps shots. Just like the E4, it's a buff that I didn't realize was going to be so absolutely good. You've already got update 6.0, which boosts the accuracy of a lot of these guns, but it doesn't so much boost the aim time of the guns. And taking the 4005 or 183 and just giving it the ability to snap shots is pretty crazy. We aimed that one in carefully there. But this whole game we're just going around smacking people. And I'll probably have a video dedicated to this replay, and a couple other replays I have in this video. So we'll make sure to do that. But FV4005, ranking number 6 on my list. Number 5 is the T54, getting buffed to the point where it has the same gun as the T62A and the Object 140. Crazy, I know! You've got insane penetration now. You have insane shell velocity now. You have insane accuracy. They buffed its accuracy to 0.3. What? That's crazy! And the aim time is better. Just everything about this is just better now, other than DPM. And this almost scored 4 on my list, but this brawl I'm in the middle of right here would have gone better if I was using the other gun. See, when you decide to use this top gun, you lose rate of fire, about 1 round a minute almost. And that doesn't make too much of a difference when you're fighting armored tanks. But when you're in a situation like I was just in, where you're fighting lightly armored tanks you can pen no problem with 201 millimeters of pen, then you would probably prefer using the other gun. And so that's why this one does not quite score 4 on my list. It came close. Came really close to scoring 4. But not quite there. And pretty much this whole game, actually, we could have done just fine using the other gun. Because look, we've got the side of the Conqueror here, putting shells into him. But just look at the shell velocity. The gun is beautiful. It sings. It hits. You don't even have to aim it. It plays like a 140. It plays like a T62A. But you've got that extra hull armor because you're in a T55 and you're a tier lower. Absolutely crazy buff. One I can't imagine anyone ever expecting. And look, there's the buff Tortoise. Boom, straight through the cupola. Standard round. No problem whatsoever. T-54 ranked number 5. M46 Patton takes the 4th spot, and it was a toss-up for me between this tank and the T-54. The reason I went with the Patton over the T-54 is because they did not change the gun handling or anything, or the rate of fire. They simply took the top gun and buffed its pen and buffed its shell velocity. That's it. You don't have to worry about changing your playstyle because you have a worse rate of fire, or your gun handling is different, or it's a toss-up. Do I want to use the gun with the better rate of fire but the lower pen, or do I use the gun with the lower rate of fire but the better pen? There's no toss-up. They simply buffed the top gun, the gun that you were already using. I doubled it there. That's how alreadiness you are with this tank. Go for the tracks there. We missed the tracks, but it's insane. So it's the M48A5 Patton's gun, or the M60's gun. It's the classic NATO gun, the NATO 105, the one that just slaps and keeps on slapping. And you've got a rate of fire that is comparable to a tier 10. You're pretty much in a tier 10 medium tank driving around in the Patton. Absolutely crazy. Look at these snaps on the move into this atomic. Poor guy there. Look at zigging zagging, trying to avoid a shot. We should avoid another one of his shots because it's the Patton gun. That's the same M46 Patton, but you've just got that better shell velocity and that better penetration, and it allows us to do stuff that we've just done. And now we're just going to finish him off there, dead, gone, out of the game. Just an absolute crazy buff, and I understand why they did it. You've got the AMX-30 that has the AMX-30B's gun. You've got the Leopard prototype that has the Leopard 1's gun, so it makes sense to do it here with the Patton. Number 4 on my list. Number 3 is the Tortoise, a tank that has needed a buff like this for a very long time. What they did was they just buffed the armor. They didn't touch the gun. They touched its stock gun, made that better, but they didn't touch the gun in any way, or its mobility or anything like that. Simply buffed the armor, and that just allows it to be a fortress like it was designed to be. You just roll around and you obliterate anyone who stands in front of your gun. Like this 5120. What are you doing? Why are you shooting me? We just turn, pop them, done. And here's the armor in play. 303 millimeters of penetration. It bounces off the side of our tank. Easy bounce there. And now we're going to go after him and just absolutely DPM him. Activate our food. Tortoise. Who knew this tank would be so powerful? But here's the thing. This tank was going to be number 2 on my list, but there's another tank that snuck in that, again, I was not expecting. This update is full of unexpected things. Look at this DPM. Easy. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going to delve into that. The Tortoise. Crazy armor now. Same crazy DPM. Same crazy gun. Same terrible mobility. But now you're a fortress. Number 3 on the list. The famous Tortoise. Number 2. The FV215B. Now I planned for this to be number 1. But then something else happened, which is absolutely, it just blew my mind. Realizing just how powerful a certain buff actually was. Oh my goodness, and we'll get to that. But the FV215B, when the Super Conqueror came out, it kind of made this tank irrelevant. Mobility wasn't too much different. You had the edge as far as turning went with the FV215B. But other than that, you had less gun depression. You had the same rate of fire, practically the same DPM, worse armor, worse side armor. The Super Conqueror with the front-mounted turret was a better side scraper than the tank designed to side scrape. And that was because the Super Conqueror had 101 millimeters of side armor, while the FV215B had 50. But with this update, what they did was they took that side armor and they doubled it, made it 101 just like the Super Conqueror, and now this tank is one of the best side scrapers in the game. You can side scrape like a mouse, but the difference between this and the mouse is that your turret is much harder to penetrate over the mouse. And that will really help you. You've got a fighting compartment as well, which people can pen, but nobody ever pens your fighting compartment or shoots you there anymore. It's fairly hidden by all the 3D textures on your tank as well. So it's a little bit harder to hit than, let's say, the Panzerkampfwagen 7. That's very easy to hit in the fighting compartment. But that's not all they did. They also buffed its aim time, 1.5 seconds. And they buffed its reload. You now have... So your gun aims in as quickly as the Chieftain, but keeps the same gun handling it had on the move, which is better than the Chieftain. And now it has a better rate of fire than the Super Conch. So finally, the FV215B has a place in the game again, and it performs really, really well. You can get yourself steel walls in the FV215B. Number 1, in my opinion, the IS-7. Holy Toledo, this change is crazy. They buffed its gun handling, they buffed its reload, and they buffed its engine power from 1050 to 1200. You now have the same engine power as an E100, but you're in a much lighter, much faster heavy tank. And that's just crazy. If you thought there was hardly a reason to play the Object 277 before, now there is practically no reason to play the Object 277 because of the IS-7. And if you thought the WZ-111QL put the WZ-111-5A to shame and made that tank almost irrelevant, you're right. Now it's completely irrelevant because you have the IS-7, which performs like a medium tank now. Beefed up rate of fire, beefed up gun handling, beefed up mobility. You drive around, you can do what I'm doing, just get people spotted, shoot them out, use your armor because you actually have it, miss the VK4502A, and just have absolutely stellar games. This game we had here was remarkable, and it was because of the buffs to the tank. I don't think we could have performed as well as we did without those buffs. We got a little bit greedy at the end, and something happened, but I won't spoil it because this will be a replay on the channel. Absolutely insane. There's the gun handling working there. Our mobility climbing this hill like a medium tank. Insane. Truly, truly one of the greatest, craziest buffs that happened yesterday. Absolutely insane. Crazy. Oh my goodness. I can't stop about it. The IS-7 I think might be one of my new favorite tanks. I think it's definitely in my top 10 right now. Easily. Holy cow, this buff. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But that's going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button. Comment. Subscribe. Check out SpaceBANDIT. Link in the description below. Let me know what you think are the greatest buffs this game has seen in past and even in present from yesterday. Which buffs did you like the most? Which tanks are you enjoying again? Let us know. We want to hear. We want to hear other people's opinions other than just the clone guys. But that's going to be it. Thanks so much, guys. Make sure you check out SpaceBANDIT. Make sure you check out my book, link in the description below. Check out my interview, I linked that as well. So yeah, good stuff. And I will be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone. Let's watch the Ram. Ugh. And peace out.